Okay, so previously in Tyranny of Dragons, you met a dragon, and it was one of the he was part of the raiders force that attacked Greenest. You basically tried to deceive him into believing that you are just mercenaries here to loot and plunder, but the dragon didn't fall for it. Surprisingly, he basically offered you a private meeting south of Greenest, and he told you that you will be rewarded if you will meet him. He could arrange for gold if that's what you are after. After that, he basically left, and you then were available to handle the situation with the villagers trapped in the town's temple. Now, after they watched you converse with the dragon, and if I remember correctly, Azael even spoke some strange arcane words during that encounter. The villagers, led by their priest Aiden Falconmoon, they didn't seem to trust you anymore. But eventually, they decided to cooperate, especially after you just said that you will help them get to the keep and guard their escape. So eventually they decided to cooperate. You indeed covered their escape to the keep, but Azael took several crossbow bolts and went down dying. You basically picked him up, and we had this very tough run to the keep. You tried to make sure the villagers reach the keep safe, but also prevent yourself from dying along the way. You eventually managed to get to the keep, and Azael was tended by Mirabelle, who, at the start of our campaign sent you to investigate the winery, but she said that she couldn't save him, and he actually died. At this point, Escobert, the dwarf responsible for the keep safety, came to you, and he was obviously very sorry to see that Azael had died. He then left you with the body of your friend at a special room dedicated to preparing the dead for burial. But at that point, Azael bodies started to float, and Azael was basically talking to this entity who demanded he paid with something, but he refused. He preferred to die instead of paying something to the creature that he was conversing with. But Talrashar, who also heard that voice, agreed to pay, then placed the holy symbol of a silver dragon that he found in a previous adventure on Azael's chest. That was the payment that the entity demanded, and once you did that, you placed the symbol, that holy symbol on Azael's chest. It vanished, and Azael returned to life. Unfortunately, the residents of the keep didn't see it as a miracle, and basically, behind the scenes, basically demanded that you leave. And Escobert actually asked you to leave, excusing it in the need of reaching to a wizard living east of Greenest and have him contact El Turel, where members of the Order of the Gauntlet reside. And he basically asked you to go there and have this wizard use his magic to contact El Turel and ask for reinforcement. The raid is still on. And at that point, you decided indeed to leave the keep. You left it through a secret tunnel that leads to the river south of Greenest, and we ended last session with you leaving the tunnel feeling that something is very wrong. And obviously the people of Greenest are, they're not very sad to see you leave, which is very strange, considering after all, you are here to help them and save their skin. So that was very strange. And we ended there.
I would like to ask the group, as we're going, or Roscoe would, did you notice that the people in Greenest don't like us anymore? Do you know why? And Roscoe looks kind of, distressed about it and confused.
I shrug. I just say, it's probably because of me. May have something to do with what's been going on as far as this entity that lives inside of me. Let's carry on. We got some hiking to do.
But what do you mean? What's been going on? What's inside of you? Where is it? Is it in your ankle? Is it in your armpit? Is it in your nostrils?
Oh, Roscoe, I'll explain once we get over there. We'll be resting, and then I'll let you guys know everything that's going on. Considering you're coming with me, we're adventuring together. You should at least know everything. Hey, Thokk, I have a couple scrolls. I know you wanted to rest. You should take these just in case we run into anything along the way.
Thank you.
So these 2 scrolls here are the Phantasmal Force and Shield scrolls. One of each.
Got it.
Okay, so as you go through the underground tunnel, it basically leads from the keep, which is over here, to the river over here. So you go through this hidden sally port and find yourself at the banks of this river, facing south. Basically, the dragon is expecting you at midnight in a ruin south of Greenest, while the wizard you were asked to visit, he lives to the east.
How close are we to midnight?
So it's now something like afternoon, so maybe late afternoon, so 5-6 p.m. The ruin, it will take you something like 2 hours or an hour to get there. It's a place where some of the village kids sometimes play. The wizard is a bit farther.
Any last words before we leave Greenest for the tower?
What do you want to ask the dragon? I have my own questions. I don't know. I want to ask, well, I guess a lot of things.
There's a lot of unanswered questions of what's going on here. I really want to know what the goal of the dragon army is. It's my primary question. I have others, but we'll see how it unfolds once we get there. Unless anybody else has anything else, we should move on.
Okay. So you start. Sorry, anyone?
I was going to say, do we have time to get to the wizard's tower before we head south for the dragon, or?
No, I don't believe we have enough time to do both. We have to do one or the other.
So just
and we're
heading
closer
south
to the tower, yeah.
Okay.
So we all head south.
Great. So you do head south, walking through hills and rolling hills, and you leave the noises of the battle and the ongoing raid behind. But you are aware of the fact that those raiders are mostly after loot. So once the villagers are inside the keep, they are probably safe. After about 1 hour of walking, you reach this place. Let me see if I can have Roll20 present it. Let me know if you see something.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. So it's closer to the evening when you reach this ruin, and you know that kids used to play at this place, but now with those clouds above and the after experiencing recent events, this place gives you a total different feel, a feel of foreboding. You reach, but there is no sign to the dragon at the moment, and you did tell him that you'll meet him at midnight, so there are maybe a couple of hours, maybe more. What do you want to do?
Hey guys, let's take a rest here while we wait for the dragon.
I'm not tired. I want to explore.
Yeah, let's look around the ruins, see if there's anything here.
Okay. So who is doing what?
So I guess when we approach, this is what we see, the kind of this bridge to this odd gate with this strange symbols on it. And
Yes, indeed.
does anybody know what that means on the door? Can anybody read that? Is that a language or is it just pictures?
I was gonna ask if any one of us know, or if we have to roll something for it.
So someone who is proficient in history can make a intelligent history check. Otherwise, it's a simple intelligence check.
I have none.
It's a flat roll for me.
Okay. So you all gather up at the gate and investigate.
I'll go ahead and investigate the area, see if there's anything that's unusual that sticks out, aside from the writing that the guys are looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also going to examine the ruins, see if there's any particular reason why the dragon chose this point, other than, it's an obvious landmark.
Okay.
Being if the dragon asked us here, is it possible that me, being somewhat of a dragon as well, do I know the symbol, or do I get advantage from it, or no?
So you all have a look. Thokk, you are the only one who can make out the symbol above the gate, and you associate it with an abandoned continent called Evermeet, where gold elves originate from. So this is probably a ruin, maybe a fort they constructed eons ago, maybe when they first arrived to this continent. But obviously the place is in total disarray. Now, the gate is obviously elven made, but the structure, the tower next to it, is not. You think it's human made, but you can't identify its origin or who constructed it. Obviously, whoever constructed it tried to emulate some of the elven runes that surround the gate, but without much success. And
Okay.
And you, Tal, you can't think of a very interesting reason for the dragon to choose this place. Maybe it was simply convenient.
So before we rest, I'd like to use perception to see if I gather any possible enemies or something that would want harm upon us.
Okay, go for it. So with that, you don't see anything special. You do have a strange feeling like someone is watching you, but maybe it's all in your head.
Is there a way to get in the tower?
Yes, if you want, you can pass through the gate and then walk, over the ruin and then the barren hill, and then climb the tower if you want to do so.
Does this look like the tower is where we're going to meet the dragon, or
You
is it going
think
to be
so.
outside?
No, you think so. That's he
Alright.
specifically mentioned a ruined tower.
All right, guys,
Does
we
it-
can go inside the tower and rest. What do you
Does
think?
it look like it's sturdy enough to keep a dragon there, or like it's not gonna crumble and kill us all, bury us alive?
So you don't actually know. It looks sturdy, but obviously there are several floors and places where the stone has crumbled. So yeah, you might want to stay outside. I don't know. Depends on you.
I'll lead the group, but I'll ask Thokk to back me up because I don't have dark vision. So
No worries, I got this. As we're walking, I motion the group to kind of gather together a little bit because I want to whisper to them, and I just lean in a little close. I think somebody's watching. I have an unusual feeling, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Can I sort of prick up my ears and just kind of peer around and see if I hear or see anyone?
Yes, you can definitely make a perception check too.
Oh,
That's very good.
I was about to say, if I help, can I give him advantage? But he doesn't need it, so.
You stay still for a while and try to listen, and you know, other than the occasional owl or a ruffle, something moving through the bushes or the grass, you don't hear anything specific, but you two get this strange feeling that someone is watching you.
I feel it too, Azael. But I don't hear anything. Just owls and creatures of the night.
just be on your guard. We don't know what could be around us. Let's move to the tower, unless anybody else wants to check something out.
No, let's head over to the tower.
Okay, so you pass through the gate and walk over to the tower. You do examine it and find that its main entrance was blocked by a huge boulder. Roscoe, you immediately identify that someone recently moved that boulder, but this boulder is immense. It will take, 10 people to move it from one place to another. You think someone placed it here to prevent people from going into the tower.
Oh, so the boulder was recently placed
Yes.
in front of the door and
Yeah.
to block the door.
Yeah.
Is there like any sort of place where a very small person could squeeze through?
So you do see that there is a staircase, external staircase that you need to climb to reach to the middle section of the tower. So you think you can probably use that. Yeah. So, but everybody can basically try and do that if you want.
Does it look? As we've seen the dragon. Does it look like a boulder that the dragon would have been strong enough to move, or does it look like it would have to be
Yeah,
even
you-
a
Are
different?
there any claw marks, anything on there that indicate that the dragon may have moved it?
So once you examine the boulder more closely, you do find claw marks, and you indeed think that the dragon placed this boulder here.
I don't think he wants us to come down here. Maybe he wants us to use the other stairs to go up to the next level.
Or maybe he doesn't want us going in the tower at all. Maybe we should wait outside. I don't know. I don't want to be offensive.
Now, the door was recently blocked or recently unblocked?
Recently blocked.
I can sneak up the stairs and see what's there if you want.
Good idea. Keep in contact with telepathy.
Say, Roscoe, can you move the boulder?
I take out my spoon and I try and use it as a hint, but not really. I say I don't think I can.
Maybe Tal's strong enough to move the boulder. You're a big guy.
How big
Give it
is
a
this
shot.
boulder?
So it's taller than you and wider than you, and it's made of stone.
Can I look for like a big piece of log that we can nudge this thing?
Yeah, you look around and find the trunk of a fallen tree. You can definitely chop it up and prepare something to use as leverage.
Yeah. And what do I roll for this?
Strength checks, and it should probably be a group check if you want any chance of succeeding.
Yes, I would like to ask the group as well, because I just point out that this is bigger than me, and plus it's gonna break my back if I did this alone. So athletics.
11.
Yeah.
So strength check from everyone.
Roscoe would sort of. He doesn't really want to help with that because he feels like the dragon put it there, and we're trying to make friends with the dragon. So he kind of doesn't want to move it. I think Roscoe, while they're doing it, I think Roscoe will sneak upstairs.
Great.
To see what's
Yes. That's what I was expecting you to do.
Okay, so roll your stealth check, Roscoe. Okay. So while you guys try to move the boulder using this dead tree trunk as a way to leverage, you go up the tower using the stairs. Now it's the stone is crumbling, everything looks shaky, but you reach to the top, and you think you are undetected. In front of you, the opening to the tower is open. There's no door or something like that, and you find yourself in a small room, basically covering the entire floor of the tower. There is a big hole in the middle of the floor. You think that maybe the roof, when it fell down, it took with it some part of the floor. And looking down to the base of the tower, you see 3 chests, wooden chests, with small locks on top of them. Each of them is marked with a claw mark, like it was scratched in a certain way, and they are basically lying at the bottom of the tower. They seem new.
Huh. Yeah, I am kind of tempted, but I think Roscoe would gather, even though he's not the brightest bulb in the drawer. I think he would sort of gather that this seems to be the dragon's stuff, and a dragon is coming, and sort of on the line of thinking that he wants to make friends with the dragon. Probably stealing from a dragon is not a good, not the right foot to put forward. So I guess I'll just sort of see if I notice anything else, any other creatures or any other anything else of interest in the area.
Roll your perception check. Let's see. So no, other than looking up and seeing the clouds and the stars occasionally through them, you don't see anything special.
Okay. I'll just come back downstairs then. And since I don't see anything, I don't even think I'm going to try and be like super quiet about it.
Okay.
I'll just assume that, okay, that this is, I mean, who else would be in a dragon's home besides the dragon? I mean, that would be crazy. So I just kind of, go back downstairs and see, how they're doing, and I'll let everybody know. There's a big hole in the middle of the floor upstairs. It looks like there's some treasure chests in the tower. I don't think moving the rock is a good idea.
And when you say that, basically the log snaps in the middle, so you all three find yourself, on the ground, but the boulder is still there. Obviously, too heavy to budge.
Well, it looks like we're just gonna have to rest and wait for the dragon to come.
Can we take cover? I mean, I don't want to be exposed out in the open. What if it's true if Azael said that there is someone looking at us? What if this is actually an ambush?
So you can take
So
cover at the near the opening. There are some walls there that you can rest your back on. Or if you want to move some distance away from the tower, there are some hills and an occasional tree that you can rest underneath.
Are there any other ruined structures in the area, like walls crumbling, or is it just the tower and the gate?
Just the tower and the gate.
I'm gonna go and ascend the stairs to go rest on top.
Okay.
Yeah, let's wait on the roof.
Yep.
So you want to ascend the stairs and wait when in the room that Roscoe saw the hole?
No, not down in the room, just up on the roof where he looked down.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can find a staircase that covers all the way up to the roof. While it's in shambles and there is a big hole in the middle, you can find a place to rest there. Okay.
Do the rest of the guys come upstairs, or is it just me and Thokk?
Yes, Roscoe will come.
Yeah, come as well.
So once I reach the top, I just find a place to put my back against and sit down as if the weight of the world is on my shoulders.
And I'm just going to kind of set down my pack and sit on it and watch the stairs and the sky. Just kind of keep an eye out for anything that might be moving our way.
Roscoe will say, so now that we're sitting here, can anybody tell me what's going on?
I'll start. And I'm going to just have to say some things. As far as your question goes of what's going on, we're just here to meet a dragon. I have something I got to share with you guys. And this is not something that I should keep to myself, considering that we're in this group together, going on this campaign to somehow, I don't know, stop the dragon army. It's not easy for me to open up, but you should at least know something about me. Before I came to Greenest, before I was even gained any of these abilities that I have now, I was a bounty hunter in Neverwinter. I was pretty good. And then one day, being cocky, I took a contract. I don't know if it was out of my league, or perhaps that was a setup. Still not sure to this day. But during this contract, it led me to the crypt of Neverwinter, and to a group of cultists. I was captured a little bit too easily, knocked out, When I awoke, I was on an altar, and at my feet was this strange obsidian orb. Inside of it was some red swirling mist. I don't know much of what it was. Just that I felt tremendous amount of evil coming from it. They started doing a ritual on me, and it would have succeeded if it wasn't for Leosin coming in just at the right moment and saving my life. But after that day, something evil clung inside of me. And what I think it was something inside that orb meaning to take over me. And rather than fully taking control, it went from one prison to another. Now, I don't know how to separate myself from it. I don't know if I ever can or could. And I think that you guys should know and should make a decision now whether or not you would want to continue with me. With this evil, I'm going to do as much good as I can in this world. Even if it consumes me, I don't know what will happen. But I'm on a quest or mission to figure out if it's possible to separate from this evil. That's why I wanted to come down here. This dragon is ancient, possibly, or just really old and may know something, may not know anything. Tal, I owe it to you, most of all, to tell you the story, because you're affected now. Affected by my curse. And it wouldn't be fair to you guys if you didn't know. Thokk, you just came here very recently. And this is a huge burden that would be placed on you guys. And selfish of me if I didn't tell you and ask you. Will you come with me? No hard feelings if you don't want to come.
We're still heading for the cultist camp after this, right?
That's something that I wanted to touch upon. I know that you have a friend there and you want to talk to them. And there's some eggs that we need to destroy. But I figured we'd talk to the dragon first.
I have a question. Because Leosin, as you know, he is like a father to me. Did you talk to him about what happened to you? What did he say?
When I asked him about it, he had a look of concern. But he had no real answers. He told me that those answers are for me to find out, and that one day he may need my help. That's why I came to Greenest. He called upon me, so I can repay this debt that I owe him. I owe my life. I owe my life debt. I know that when I came down here, he was going after a tomb, I believe, of a wizard. He was seeking that tomb for reasons I have no idea. And I figured that might be aligned with the knowledge that I need. I'm just curious, you guys who know Leosin, what's your reason for coming out to Greenest? Tal? Roscoe? Why did you come?
Oh, I came because he told me to come, but he didn't tell me anything about a tomb. He just said that there was work to do here, so I came. But I think, well, if Leosin thought that you were worth saving, then I trust his judgment. He's a very good man.
That he is. What's your relationship to Leosin? Is he your master? Did you train under him?
Well, I met him a couple of years ago. I did. I mean, he comes and goes, but my sister and I, we were. Well, I tried to pick his pocket once in Baldur's Gate. We were hungry, and my sister is younger than me, and so. But anyway, he caught me, and he could have handed me over to the guard, but instead he offered us a home in a monastery outside of Burdusk, and he was very kind to me. And our parents were gone, and so yeah, he instructed me, sometimes, and the other monks did, and I trained there for. Yes, but he's always been very good to me. I trust him completely.
And after some years, he asked you to come to Greenest, but you don't know the reason why.
No.
How about you, Talrashar?
I guess you've understood from Vedura from our encounter last time. I was a former mercenary working for the cult. At first I thought it was just for ordinary mercenary work where we fight monsters and maybe perhaps raid a bandit camp. But unfortunately, me and my crew mates were taking something far bigger than we expected. Vedura commanded our group, and we started raiding other small towns. For me, sure, I would say killing a man is an everyday thing for me, but an innocent defenseless child and their mothers, killing them or being ordered to torture them for the sake of Vidura's joy is not something I can live every day. So me and my group started to turn away from the cult, but unfortunately there was no escape when you join the cult's activities, I would say. And I am the only remaining member of my group. And where you caught me in Greenest, that was where I took refuge. And right now I am seeking to atone myself. Perhaps maybe if I take down important peoples from the cult, maybe I could not just avenge my group, but perhaps even save the world if possible.
Vidura's still out there. She was only knocked unconscious. I'm sure she's going to want to get a little payback.
It's not just only Vidura that I'm after.
Why did you come to Greenest? Did you know that the cult was going to attack here?
I was expecting the cult to not make it to Greenest. I was here hired by Nighthill.
Seems that only two of us know Nelson. Each of us had our own path that led us to Greenest.
Indeed, it is.
Thokk, when you came to Greenest, you were trying to look for your friend? Is that how you stumbled upon us?
Yeah, that's right. Talus, it's been my friend since forever, and I was told she was taken from the docks, and I've just been following those that took her, and that's when I ran into y'all.
Well, we're lucky that you did run into us. We would not be here right now if it wasn't for you. And I thank you for being there. Or Lady Luck, whichever.
Well, it's lucky for all of us, because if she's where they said she was, then I wouldn't going to get in there by myself.
There's still something I don't understand. And maybe you understand and maybe you don't understand. Did you notice that the people of Greenest don't like us anymore?
Yeah, I noticed that on the way out. I was just thinking it's because of my condition is why they don't like us. Unless one of you guys have something.
I think the Dragonborn changing color and coming back from the dead kind of scared them a little bit.
What? Who? Tal? Yeah, why are you black? And also, yeah, why are you black? And also, you came back from the dead. What are you talking about?
Tal, how are you feeling? How's the new look?
I don't feel anything. If out of character, if I'm correct, I don't feel anything. I look at my skin. Does it emanate anything? Does it like secrete like evil, or does it secrete like something like arcane, something arcanic?
Is that a question to me?
Yes.
So no?
For the DM.
No.
No. I go. I feel good. I feel strong as ever. I flex.
I want to apologize to you. I never meant for my curse to affect anyone else. It's unfortunate that it affected you in this way. And I'm really sorry about that.
I'm quite surprised that you were worried about me, but there is nothing to worry about. I feel perfect. And I feel like there's nothing that can go wrong with this.
I think whenever anybody makes a deal with any kind of archdevil, there's always a consequence.
It was an archdevil, you say.
Thokk, at this point, since you told me that you are looking at the sky, you do see a shape forming. You all have been talking for a while and didn't notice the passage of time. You can consider this a short rest if you want, if you need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, guys, looks like we have company coming. And I point at the shape that's headed our way.
I'll look up.
So whoever is looking up, you can very fast make the shape of a winged lizard. Obviously, the dragon is on his way to the tower.
I'll wave.
I'll go ahead and stand up.
Quick question before we talk to the dragon. Did we actually? I forgot. Did we actually had a long rest back at the keep?
No, it was a short rest.
No, short rests only.
Okay.
Which is fine for the Warlock, but leaves the rest of us kind of hanging.
Yes, indeed. So it takes but a few heartbeats, and the immense shape of the dragon pierces through the clouds, and the mists that reside everywhere kind of curl when he flaps his giant wings and approaches the tower. Now you have this moment of panic when this huge creature goes down and tries to basically land on top of the tower. but fortunately the ancient structure holds. You can see some new cracks on the stones, and some loose stones crumble down and fall, but the weight of the dragon is supported by the tower. And his blue scales, they take this grayish, brilliant hue when the moonlight falls on top of it. And simply the presence of this huge creature is, owing to simply watch it, but you are not affected by his appearance, and you overcome that his fearful presence. Last time you met him, it was difficult to bear, but now it seems like you can handle it.
Well, Roscoe has the brave trait, so he's not scared. He just kind of will go up to the dragon and say, "Hi, I'm Roscoe Trufflenose," and I'll just hold my hand out, my little tiny hand, and go up to him and see if he will shake it.
So his T-Rex-like head basically goes down to meet you, and you are, face to face with it. You see that you can easily, if he opens his mouth, you can easily climb inside and vanish. You're not sure if you see the hint of a smile on his face, but he does say, "Pleased to meet you."
We're here, Lenathan. What is it you want to see us about?
He says, "You are not part of the Raiders' force." And he looks at all of you.
I tell him. Never mind.
What? Sorry? Oh, so you say I and then never mind? I didn't hear.
Yeah, I was gonna say I used to be, but then again, never mind, because Tal realizes that we might just get in trouble if I admit something.
So right now I have my arms crossed on my chest and just staring at the dragon.
Well, actually, we never said we were part of the raiding group. We said we were mercenaries. Think of us more as crows picking at the carcass left behind.
What the half-orc said is right.
So he...
No, it's not. That's not true. Why are you telling him that? That's not true at all. We don't like the raiders. We wanted to help the town. What are you talking about?
Is it true that we work for money, or we work in order to get benefits from our skills? That's what being a mercenary is. You use your skills, of your sword skills, to help those people out for money or other gains.
And I just kind of give him a dirty look.
No, I mean, maybe you are. I don't know. That's mercenary. Huh.
I hand Roscoe a piece of my ration, and I pet his head. Shh.
The dragon looks at all of you and asks, "What do you know of the cult of the dragon?"
That's what we want to know. We don't know much about them. What are their goals? Why are they here? Besides taking loot, what's their main purpose?
I can't speak for the rest of my group, but I can honestly say absolutely nothing.
So he looks around and then he says, "The cult venerates dragons, and specifically dead dragons. They convince our species and persuade us with mountains of gold to join their cause. They slay us and then reanimate the corpses. They create powerful and fell dracoliches."
And I'm guessing you don't want to be part of those dracoliches? You like your life the way it is now?
And he nods, and then he says, "Some of us oppose that goal. Some of us wish to remain as we are and not to be slaves to the cult. But something changed recently. The cult's activities increased. They are up to something. But we cannot penetrate their defenses." And he looks at you, Tal, and then he says, "It seems like the new cult leadership is, or should I say, doesn't trust dragons anymore. They don't tell us everything. They simply hoard large amounts of treasure. But we are not sure why. We recruited non-draconic spies and sent them to infiltrate the cult. But these are getting killed faster and faster than we can recruit them."
So you want to recruit us to be your spies?
Can I insight check that?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and assist with the insight check, or do an insight check myself also.
So you think he's telling the truth. Obviously, you believe that he's holding a lot more information, but you don't sense that he is trying to deceive you.
Can I ask you something?
He looks down at you.
I saw down there that there are 3 chests. Are those is that your treasure?
I was hoping it will be yours. Inside those chests are trade bars made in Baldur's Gate. And you know that trade bars is basically a way to transport a large amount of coin instead of actually carrying coins, and it is used by merchants in the markets of Baldur's Gate. Then he says, "One of our spies told us that the cultists are hauling their treasure to Baldur's Gate, and they are about to ship it from there north, but we don't know where. I was hoping you would travel to Baldur's Gate and try to track where this treasure goes."
We can consider this. What's in it for us? We go to Baldur's Gate, find where the treasure is, then what?
He says, "When you find where the treasure goes, you will find what the cult is up to, what they are trying to achieve with all this gold." And he says, "I don't know of any dragon worthy of such a hoard."
Can I whisper to Azael and talk to Roscoe? Do we want to ask about where those dragon eggs were? That was that our drow friend was mentioning earlier.
I just nod in agreement, and I look at Lenathan.
Pretty sure he just heard you, so.
Lenathan, what do you know of 3 black dragon eggs? Are they still in the camp?
He says, "I believe so."
Do you know where exactly in the camp they're kept?
So he says, "Yes. I also know that no sane dragon will part from its eggs, which means the cult is trying to force a dragon do something it wouldn't otherwise do."
I have a question. Why if you don't like what the cult is doing, why are you attacking Greenest and helping them? It's strange to me because you're doing all the work, and then they're taking all the gold and giving it to somebody else. Do you like that? That doesn't make sense to me.
He says, "There is much wisdom in you. I joined the cult as a spy. I was hoping to learn about their goals. But the cult leader, the half-dragon named Rezmir, who leads those raids, is unwilling to trust dragons. She only conveys information to wizards wearing purple robes, and her how should I say it? Oh man, I lost the word for a military leader.
Commander?
Generals,
General?
yeah. So she only conveys information to the purple-robed wizards and her generals. But now...
I killed a purple-robed wizard today with my spear, and I show him my spear.
He says it probably was a good thing. However, I'm now bound to the dragon cult. I cannot leave without arousing suspicion, so I'm here, trying to do their bidding, but acting like a helpful agent while I try to recruit people they will not suspect to infiltrate their activities and tell us what is actually going on. And he says, I noticed some power in you, an aura of a sort, and then he looks at Talrashar and he sniffs you, Tal. And then he says, something has changed.
What do you know of this power? Have you ever witnessed something like that before?
And he says, I felt power in all four of you. And he looks at you, Roscoe, and says, that spoon of yours. It reeks of magic. Your stones. And he looks at the half-orc. Are also projecting an aura very familiar to me, or should I say to one of my spies. And then he looks at Tal and says, but your aura is gone. You radiated the presence of a silver dragon, but now I don't feel it. I don't sense it. And to Azael he says, you reek of magic too, but it is untapped.
At this point, I'll reach into my pocket and pull out the small amber lump. What do you know about this? What can you tell me about this item?
He looks at it and says, where did you find it?
I got it off of a band of mercenaries that we took care of not too long back.
What can you tell me of these mercenaries?
It's not much to them. They just wanted to cause trouble, and we stopped them.
He says, maybe a wizard will be more helpful in identifying this object.
With that, I just put it away. One more question. What do you know, or have you ever experienced in your long life of being living inside another being, trapped in that being?
And he says, these things do happen. And he, surprisingly enough, looks at Tal when he says that. And he says, I suspected that was the case with you. A long time ago, there was a silver dragon named Greenvostholt. He attracted a lot of followers, paladins and clerics, who followed him to the light. He founded what was later known as the Order of the Silver Dragon. But something evil has drawn it into another realm, and he was gone. But his spirit was lying fragmented in holy symbols of his order. I thought I sensed that aura in you. But now it is gone. Some of us believed that those fragments could lead to a key that will eventually be used to free a Greenvostholt from his imprisonment somewhere far away.
About that, I used it to revive my friend.
I was not aware that these holy symbols had any applicable magic in them.
I asked the dragon, you seem to be very good with all these lore and magical items. Is it possible to bring it back?
And he says, bring back a Greenvostholt? Or bring back...
Whatever I lost.
And he says, you are not telling me the whole story.
I'm not sure if I am actually telling you the whole story.
How did you revive your friend?
A voice came to me, asked for a bargain. And when I agreed upon setting my friend free, or I would say getting him back to join us, my symbol, or that amulet that I got, disappeared, or was, how should I say this, blended with the, out of character, is it a table or an altar?
No, it was a table, a stone table.
Okay, stone table.
He says, a Greenvostholt had one enemy. His order was dedicated to the light, so his enemy was one of the darkness. His enemy was the Soulmonger, an entity so powerful that many of us didn't even consider fighting it. A Greenvostholt was a being of light. He saw it as his duty. If what you describe is true, that bargain, maybe now the Soulmonger has a fragment of a Greenvostholt's spirit. Without it, the dragon couldn't be revived.
Is it possible to get it back?
You will need to learn more about the Soulmonger. It is a dark entity. Not a lot of us have considered even to investigate and immerse ourselves with its lore. It was considered dead.
If it was dead before, it can die again.
I agree. If you want, I can try and learn some more about this entity and about the bargain you have made. And then he looks down at the treasure, the chests, and he looks at all of you and he says, help me understand and uncover the cult's true goals. I will learn whatever I can about this bargain that you made. Maybe I could help. Maybe we can help each other.
I have 4 questions, and I hold up 4 fingers. Number 1, you said, how is my spoon magic? It was my mother's spoon. She used it to make mushroom soup. It was a very good mushroom soup. Is that why the soup was so good? Because the spoon is magic? That's number 1. Number 2, if we go and find out where the trade bars are going and what the cult is doing, how will we contact you? Number 3, is blue your favorite color? Number 4, could you give us a ride to El Terrell? We have to go there very fast. And I've never ridden a dragon before, except once Tal gave me a piggyback ride, but I don't think that counts. Does that count?
He looks at you and says, this spoons reeks of divination magic. I'm not sure what its purpose is. You might want to convey it to a wizard. You can contact me via a magical stone I placed in one of the chests, and if you asked, yes, it is blue. And about riding, I am not a horse.
No, you're a dragon. You're bigger than a horse, and you can fly.
He says, you are correct, but I would not let anyone ride me.
Okay. And he looks very sad about that.
He says, if you agree to do this, I need to ask you one more thing. One of the spies that we used managed to reach a very high rank within the cult, but she vanished. She stopped responding after she told me about the treasure being hauled to Baldur's Gate.
Does she have a name?
Her name is
Your spy, I
Talis.
mean.
She's a half-elf, and she was very valuable to us. The last time I heard from her, she was in Baldur's Gate, but that was almost 2 weeks ago.
This Talus that you speak of, what does she look like?
I know her well. And while they've been talking, Thokk's just sitting there staring at the large river stones that he's holding in his hands.
And Dragon says, aha. And then he seems like he just connected the strange aura your stones project. And Thokk, you remember Talis blessing them in a way. And it seems like the dragon realized that.
You say she's in Baldur's Gate?
I do not know. That was the last time when she contacted me. But that was 2 weeks ago. She is probably not there anymore.
Either way, that's the next place I go.
Seems like that's my path as well.
Didn't Fedora say that she saw Talus in the dragon camp? Did she say how long ago that was?
That's today.
Well, no, she said she took Talus to the dragon camp when she took her from the docks, but that was a while ago.
Oh,
Talus could still be there. We need to find out more. I think you and I have an agreement, Dragon.
And
Do I speak for the group? Do we all go to Baldur's Gate and find out what happens?
I request to.
I need to check the camp first, but yes.
Is that where the wizard is?
so the wizard is northeast of here. Half a day.
The camp is
probably.
about where?
The dragon says that the camp is north of Greenest. He basically tells you where it is exactly. You can locate it easily enough.
Would it be on the way to the wizard?
You need to go round, but it's to the north, so northeast and then north. It's probably something you can do.
I think we should go to El Terrell and tell them about the raiders, because that's an emergency. But after that, yeah, then we can go to Baldur's Gate, or we can go to the camp first.
I point to the dragon and go, do we have a time limit, or do we have only a few remaining days before we need to reach Baldur's Gate?
He
We have
says,
some unfinished business out here.
he says, the cult acts slow. They haul treasure from all across the Sword Coast to Baldur's Gate. It is a monumental task that will last at least a couple of weeks. It is why I'm so worried. This such a large-scale operation by the cult has never been done before. But you have time.
Lenathon, can I ask you a favor? Can you try and not kill a lot of the innocent people when you're helping the cult? Because I don't like that.
He looks at you quizzically and then says, I will do my best.
Let us make haste to the wizard tower, I would say.
Let's collect our things and head off.
Okay, so are we close to the treasure chest that he prepared?
So you need to basically go down the tower and collect those. They are not huge chests, but each one of you can carry one, and it contains golden bars that represent a total value of 2,500, yeah, gold pieces, and these are all marked with the trading company signature, and they were all minted in Baldur's Gate. And inside one of the chests there is a blue gem. Obviously, this is the one that the dragon told you can use to communicate with him. He says that the stone can operate only once per day, and that you need to be very, very careful in communicating with him, so you would not risk him or yourselves.
Is it possible for Tal to carry 2 of the chests?
Yes,
I'll take the blue stone.
Yeah, you can. You're strong enough to carry 2 of the chests.
I'll do that then.
Okay.
And then I go, so where to now?
The dragon at this point nods his head, flaps his giant wings, and vanishes into the night.
Until next time, then.
He circles the tower just one time, looking at you, and then vanishes behind the clouds.
Right?
Yeah. And here I was expecting that we were gonna be ambushed.
Sorry, what was the question?
He said he was expecting an ambush.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't. I'm good at making friends. I make friends everywhere I go.
I don't think anybody wants to ambush a dragon.
Maybe another dragon can ambush another dragon.
By the way, if we could just possible to retcon a small thing. I just noticed in my inventory I have like back when we were in the winery, I took I guess a bag or something that had 200 gold coins in it.
Yes.
During the rest, could I just sort of like distribute like 50 of those to everybody?
Sure.
Although now
Yeah,
we're so rich, it really doesn't seem to matter. But I just kind of want to get that off my inventory. So you can all have 50 gold from me.
I asked Roscoe, are you sure about this?
Yes. Are you sure about it?
And I don't
Thank you.
reply back, I just pocket the gold.
We should split the gold we have just acquired. Keep 500 for the group for group expenses, but then everybody else takes their cut. 500 apiece, 500 for the group.
Is that each chest had 2,500?
No, total.
Total. Okay.
So each
Why don't we
person takes
just leave
500.
that all as party funds? Because we're going to need to outfit to get to Baldur's Gate. It's a long walk.
It is a long walk.
Should we sleep here tonight and then go to El Turel, or should we go to El Turel right away? I vote for going to El Turel right away because
No,
I
we
think-
need to get to the wizard to send his message.
Fair enough. We'll go to the wizard, go to the camp, head to Baldur's Gate.
Agreed.
Sounds like a plan.
And
Okay.
we head on off.
So do you rest here, or are you starting to go right now?
right
No,
now.
I think we're headed out for the wizard.
Okay.
We'll rest at the wizards.
Great. So you leave this ruin tower and head to the northeast, walking under the light of the moon, and all the night creatures basically follow you. They get quiet when you pass, but resume their their noises once you go by. It takes you about 3 hours of walk.
While we're walking, can I ask my spoon a question?
Yes, you can.
And just
Spoon, magic spoon, where's my sister?
And when you say that, Magic Spoon, where is my sister? You suddenly see torchlight coming from dead ahead. It seems like this trail you are walking on is probably being used by another. I need you all to roll perceptions. Okay, so I see that Azael can see normally in darkness. So Azael, you can see 5 people. They seem to be toying with something lying on the ground. They laugh, they kick it, they poke at it, and one of them is shouting for someone else to make sure dinner is ready. Roscoe, you have a strange feeling about it. You just ask your spoon a question, and then immediately you saw the light.
It looks like somebody is being abused or mistreated in the street.
It's not street. It's on the trail leading.
On the trail,
but
yes.
But yes, it seems like it. With your perception, you can see that whoever is being abused isn't, fighting back. It's simply lying on the floor.
How far away are they?
Something like 100 feet.
Okay. I will run toward them.
Okay, so
I'll go stealth.
And I will even I'll run and then I'll take the dash action, so that will bring me like 70 feet.
Okay.
So that I'm like within 30 feet, and when I'm within 30 feet, do I see like more clearly what's happening?
Yes, you can see five men. They are all wearing mercenary clothes, and it seems like maybe they're part of the raiders, but they went off-road. Obviously, whatever is lying on the floor, you can see that it is a halfling, and it's dirty and covered with blood. And 4 of them are basically kicking it and poking it. The 5th is preparing dinner over a fire he just started. So unless you ran, right? You didn't stealthily approach.
No, I ran.
Yeah, but fortunately
and I
for you,
still
they
have-
didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, they will now because I'm going to shout at them.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to spend, I'm going to shout, hey, stop that. Pick on somebody your own size. Although I'm probably a lot smaller than all of them. And I'm going to take, I'm going to spend a key.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take patient defense. So I'm going to take the dodge action as a bonus action so that they will have, I'm sort of like, I take a defensive position and I challenge them and I'm ready for whatever they do to me.
Okay. So as they spot you, the one that is handling dinner, he looks at you and then says, "Hey, look, here's another one, but that one isn't coughing that much." And the other 4 simply rush for their crossbows, and I need you to roll initiative. Okay. So we have Thokk with 17. Roscoe with 15. Great. Tal with 17. And Azael with 9. Okay, so Thokk, you do see that Roscoe has shouted and that they are, those bandits are basically running to grab their weapons. You still have some distance to cover. What do you do?
I was right behind Roscoe as he ran up.
Oh,
So-
okay, great. Then in this case, you are within 30 feet of them. What do you want to do?
I look at the nearest crossbowman and I shout, "Put that thing down! You'll hurt yourself!" And cast vicious mockery on him.
Okay, great. Do I need to roll for something?
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I rolled a unmodified 15.
Yeah, he saved.
Okay, and he looks at you quizzically and then aims his crossbow right at you. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's movement and action, so...
Okay. Tal.
Okay. How far am I to Roscoe's position?
So if you didn't run after them, then you're probably something like 70 to 100 feet away.
Okay, then I will rush in and dash
Okay.
towards where Roscoe is. By this amount of movement, can I hear all of his voices and yelling going on?
Yeah, so you can definitely hear Thokk and those bandits shouting, and you obviously heard Roscoe's shouting.
Okay, so as I'm dashing, I'm bringing out my 2 weapons, and that's it for me.
Okay. Roscoe?
Roscoe will just run up to them, and the one that's picked up a crossbow and aimed it at Thokk, I'm just going to jab him.
Okay, do it. Okay.
21 to hit. I
Yes.
guess I hope that if that doesn't hit, we are in trouble.
Definitely hits.
For 4 damage only. And yeah, I'll follow it up with my unarmed strike.
Okay.
Try and kick him in the balls.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
another 21
Great. Oh,
for 7.
great. So your spear and the kick in the groins did it, and this dude is down. Great. Azael.
I think he's AFK.
Is what?
He's AFK.
Remember, he said he had to go at the early, so I think
Oh.
he's just kind of gone.
Oh, I see. Okay. I think he's just muted, but okay. I have to get going. Okay. We'll continue for another 10 minutes. Okay,
I mean,
so
if I had to guess, Hex and Eldritch Blast. I mean, that seems to be what his
yeah,
MO is.
I think that's a good guess. Let's see.
He would probably target the leader at the camp, the one cooking.
Okay, let's see if I can Eldritch Blast. Kaboom. Did I shoot something? So that was an 18, so it definitely hit. And then we need the damage. Oh. That seems...
Just a D10.
Yeah.
If you mouse over the Eldritch Blast and left click, it should do the damage.
I don't think it did. I think it...
I don't think we can click it. I think it has to be either the DM or the character who owns the sheet.
So 1d10, you say?
There you go.
Okay, great. So he basically wasted that other guy with this.
No bonuses though. It's a straight D10.
Yeah, this is what it. Oh, sorry.
I think he has an invocation that adds his charisma to.
No, he has.
Eldritch.
It's 1d10 plus 3. So obviously
Yeah.
he rolled.
Oh, he's got invocations already. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, he rolled a 13 damage on that
Yeah.
himself. So yeah, there we go. Lucky.
Great. Okay, so 3 of the remaining bandits aim crossbows at Thokk, Tal, and Azael. So Thokk, that was a natural 20.
Are any of them standing next to me?
Ow.
Yes, we can assume so.
Because normally you have disadvantage on ranged attacks if you are threatened by a melee person.
I think that only for 3rd edition or something like that. Disadvantage if you're within melee. I'm
Only if your target's in melee.
I don't know.
I'm assuming I got hit.
Yeah, with 10 points of damage. After that was a crit. So that was 1 crossbow bolt, and then we have 1 aimed at Azael. He rolled a 12. His AC is 12. So he got hit and suffered 5 points of damage. I'll reduce his damage now. And the last one was at Tal. But he rolled only an 11. I assume that doesn't hit?
I block it.
Okay, great. So we are back at Thokk.
I'm gonna look at the guy that shot me, and I'm gonna say, "Damn, that hurt!" and unleash a long stream of things not suitable for replay on video, and cast vicious mockery at him again.
Okay, so another saving throw. This time I rolled only an 8.
Okay, so he takes 1 point of psychic damage, and he's at disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay, great. So that was Thokk. Tal?
Am I close enough to move to an enemy?
Yes.
Okay, I charge in and I go yield, and then I point my axe to one of the mercenaries.
Okay, so roll an intimidation check. So that was high enough. So the three bandits, they look at each other, look at their two fallen comrades, and look at the big Dragonborn. And around all of you, they simply throw their weapons and say, we surrender.
I point my axe to a spot where they should gather around, and to whoever I am closest to, the mercenary I'm closest to, I take their weapons far away from them, and I go, "Explain yourself."
And they look at you and they say, "No, sir, it's a big misunderstanding. You see, we just we were ordered to simply wait here and make sure that no one follows the trails from the south to Greenest. It was under Vidura's command, and then this strange halfling came and he tried to kill us, and we had to protect ourselves, so we killed him."
Can I actually, as soon as like they surrender, can I kind of get down on the ground by the fallen halfling and check if the person is alive?
So you kneel besides the halfling and you immediately see two things. One, he's dead. The other one is that you know him. His name is Kint Daggersharp, and he actually one of your missing clan members. What strikes you the most is that he looks very, very sick. Obviously, he's wounded because they killed him with spears or crossbow bolts. You're not sure, but he is obviously very sick. Now, his fist is clutched, and within it you see something glittering.
I take it. I examine. What is it?
So it's a small locket, and when you open it, you see two pictures inside. And to your amazement, those two pictures are yours and Lida's. And
I guess Roscoe just kind of I mean, he starts crying, but he is very really agitated, and he takes out his spear, very threatening, and goes up to the leader and say, "Where did you find him? Where did he come from? Why did you hurt him?"
And they look at each other and they are speechless. They are not sure what to answer as you threat them. And one of them eventually says, he was coughing all the time, and he just talking. He said all the time, "Roscoe, Roscoe, Roscoe," and he looked dangerous, so we killed him.
Can I insight check that?
Yes.
Uh, 16.
So you think he tells the truth in about this halfling saying your name, but you think they killed it for fun.
You didn't feel threatened by him. Look at him. He's sick. You're a liar. Where did you find him? Where did he come from?
And they basically shrug. One of them says that he came from the forest around you. I mean, you're in this hilly region. It's covered by trees here and there, and they say that he simply stumbled upon their camp.
Okay. Are there any? I immediately start looking for tracks around the circumference of the camp to see if I can see which direction did he come from. I also ask them.
So they point to the south. And when you search for tracks, obviously you find nothing very obvious, especially this late at night.
Yeah, I'm going to start tying them up.
Okay.
I look at Roscoe and I go, I won't judge you if you kill them for the sake of your whoever that person is to you. Seems like very important.
And maybe it's a good point to stop with this question unanswered at the moment.
Cliffhanger.
Sure. Great.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So we leave the heroes at this camp with 3 of the bandits tied up and Roscoe looming over them with his spear.
Do we at least level up?
do you what, level up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's okay to level up now. I'll send you all the details as usual. So yes. One last thing before we close. I think we have a lot of loose ends currently open, which is it's not a bad thing. You can use, if you want, the character and group goal handout to basically outline what you're most interested in. So I can use it as a way to basically gauge where you want the story to go.
It's funny how we are going to different places and we're like stacking up on requests. It's fun. It gives us more diverse, and plus we're like, so what are we gonna do now?
Exactly. So if you want me to basically prune a little bit and tell me what what makes you tick, you can use that handout, and I'll use it when I prep for the next sessions.
When you say tick, like what triggers our characters, or
so what interests you more? I mean, it's simply if you want to deal with, I don't know, a Grinvost Holt, or do you want to research about the Soulmonger? Do you want to head to Baldur's Gate and do that, or head to the camp and do this?
Well, Tal right now feels like a dick for giving up a silver dragon soul.
Well, you were tricked by a very experienced. Yeah.
I did manage to revive Azael.
Yep. Yes, you did.
Kind of. I don't know if he'll revive him. Like, oh, sucker, I can just revive him right now. I just wanted this pendant. But then again, Tal is a simple person. I gained black scales, and I'm not sure if I'm aware I can breed dark mist stuff, but I'll consider that as a fair trade in a way.
We're level 3 now. We can head down to the hells to get it back.
Yeah, I think I could fight a god now.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. For example, if you want to explore this further down the road, then you can tell me. But if it's something that you are okay with it as it is now and you don't want to pursue it any further, then you can not write it, and then I'll know. So it's so all of you can do that. It's simply for me a tool to understand where you want me to take the story.
It's more simple than just out of the blue session where we're like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
My concern is, do we have like deadlines to catch on these days? That's why I asked, like, do we have like a few days before we have to reach Baldur's Gate, or can we do a few events first before we can head to Baldur's Gate?
The dragon implied we've got a couple of weeks to get to Baldur's Gate, so we should be able to check out the camp and then head out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And out of game, this isn't a ticking clock adventure. So if you do want to move around and do some stuff, for your own sake, that's fine. It's up to me to remind you if you go way out of track. So.
Yeah, no worry.
Great.
Yeah, you just dangled an enormous plot hook in front of Roscoe.
Oh,
so
I know.
I think his priorities have just completely shifted, like 180. Boom. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Great. So
Yeah,
we'll
great.
have an interesting next session next Friday.
Thank you. Thank you for the session.
Great. Thank you for showing up. Don't forget about the time. The 1
I
hour.
don't. I think that's for Ben.
Okay.
Well, since we both have daylight savings at the same time this weekend, Ito and I, and Will also, I guess in Germany, that it's actually not going to affect the time for us. But if it's staggered some way with North America, then or where Daniel is, then it might affect you guys.
Great.
But we have the shift should happen like Saturday night or Sunday night, so we have plenty of time during the week to figure it out.
Yeah. I think in the same. Whoever's in America, I think them, and I do the same shift.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all had daylight savings already, didn't you?
I think we have one coming up on November? Question mark.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we do have time to schedule stuff and make sure everyone are on par. Okay. Great. I have to go pick up the kids from school. So thank you for the session. Thank you for showing up, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
good to be back.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.